Hi, everybody. Um, I'm just going to lay it out here. Um, this was my second season of my True Colors, which is basically all me, stripped down. You rarely ever see me with makeup on because I usually don't wear a lot of makeup. And if I do, it's very minimal, but it's just all about me and my emotions and my feelings and my thoughts on stuff and, how I'm feeling in that moment. And I've opened up a lot in this season about living with generalized anxiety disorder with mild to moderate depression. And the reason I started being more proactive in this is because I didn't know. I didn't know I had the depression. I didn't know I had the depression with the anxiety. And if I'm put in very high stressful situations, I can relapse and I can go into a relapse. And I did a few days ago. I went into a relapse and I was, I get really sick when I relapse. So that was another reason. A lot of people live and cope with this every day. And that was one reason I wanted to open up more about this. I've been open. I've been verbal in the past, but I'm more proactive now than I was in the past because I didn't know as much back then as I do now. I went through group therapy and I'm going through treatments and it just all comes back into focus and perspective for me because I am such a I wouldn't say Christian-like person, but I am a Christian. I apologize. I don't apologize for that. I will never sugarcoat that ever because that's how I've gotten through everything is through my faith in the Lord and how strong-willed I am to get through things when stuff happens. And I have to remind myself that the Lord is always going to be with me no matter what I deal with or go through. And I've been very open with some other issues and experiences that I've had, and my book series. And I'm working on a new book, and I'm working on the rough draft right now. And I believe a lot of that will be changing. I'm going to end up changing a lot with my rough draft. And it just recently hit me that I need to do this for me, and to love myself more than I ever have, and take better care of myself and not be the focus on someone else because I'm such the type of person who is always there for somebody else and never for myself. And these testimonies have really helped me a great deal. Not just this season, but the first season that I started last year in September of last year, because a lot of changes were going on in my life, and I did not know how those changes and those unexpected moments occurred. I'll never fully understand that. A lot, that's just a part of life. We never really do understand everything. We can't explain everything either. That's just the way, you know, the way life is. And I'm only going to have a few more of these before the end of the season. So I just want to come in and just, just let it all out. And it's very, very therapeutic on me, very weightlifting for me and for you out there who might have trouble coping um, with your mental health, or just don't know where to turn or who to turn to. And I've mentioned that before in previous testimonies. We're not alone in any of this. We're all together in this, no matter what. And that was another focus that I wanted to bring up, was the fact that so many of us don't know who to turn to. And when I had my relapse a few days ago, um, I realized my parents are always going to be there for me. My parents are just very strong-willed people. I get that from them. And I get a lot of my hurt and my soul from my mother. And I get a lot of my stubbornness and bullheadedness from my father. And I also get my mouthy moments. That's another thing I get from my father, fortunately. And so just to touch base with you on how I'm feeling and how I'm doing right now. I'm feeling really good. Um, my faith in the Lord is always gonna always get me through anything that no matter what no matter what happens in my life, no matter what the next chapter is of my life, no matter where it's gonna take me. Um, we all need someone special in our lives, someone who's gonna really take care of us and who's gonna really be there in the long run. Someone who is going to be there in every situation possible, and they're going to want to see you and spend time with you, and they would do anything in their power to be with you. And I've realized that recently that, some people say things to gain your trust. And I've never been the kind of person who is very trusting. I have a very hard time opening up to people. I had a very difficult time trusting people because I have been hurt so many times in my life through all the things that I've been through in the past 20 years. And it's made me grow up a lot more. It's made me much more mature in the long run. And it's made me realize that the people who really do love me are the people who have been in my life for more than 20 years. And that's just a given. That's just a given. And that's very, very few family members. And they make me happy, and they make me feel loved and supportive. And we all need that. And I remember when I started this season, how it was going to be family focused. And it really has been such a family focused season, because we do have those family members who are going to be there for us in the long run. It really is. And it's just the way it's going to be. We're going to have some family members who are never going to see eye to eye on things. They're going to want to bring you down. They have that negative energy about them. And some of it can be very toxic on you, especially if you already live with a mental illness or have, that kind of mentality, which I do. And I remember at one time I had such a hard time opening up to the fact that I have a learning disability on top of all this. There are things that I'll never fully be able to understand because of that. But I also live on my own common sense and know what's right from wrong. That's just also the way I was raised. There are just a lot of things that just happen, and we're all going to go through that progression in our lives, the way things are going to be. We have to remember where our lives are. We have to remember where we come from and be that shoulder or that hope and that comfort for somebody, because we all go through stuff. Life goes so fast, and we have to remember those who love us the most and those who are always going to be there for you in the long run. And so that was my testimony today. Like I said, I'm only going to have a few more after this, or a couple more after this probably. 26 episodes a season is a lot to cram in, but I always find time to bring these to you. There is a scripture that I want to share with you, because I find that very helpful right now, and I found this scripture just recently. Now I'm kind of going off basis a little bit with my Christianity, but that's okay too. I think we all need to have the Lord in our lives to get us through everything and keep that constant faith and not to give up, never to give up, because some days are going to be a lot more difficult than others. And I found this scripture after I was anointed last night, and I felt the hands of the Lord just weighing me down, and He was pushing me, pushing me, pushing me. And today I woke up and I felt like, wow, I'm back where I need to be after that relapse I had on Friday. So everything, that I go through is gonna be a challenge and a struggle no matter what. Yes, I'm on medications, but I also believe that the Lord's gonna get me through all of this in the long run. So yes, let me finish my testimony and read the scripture for you. And it comes from Psalms. And I love what Psalms says a lot. And this is Psalms 22. And I have to remember which verses, because I was reading it, and I was reading a lot of verses. So here, I think this is the one. Okay, this is 17 through 22. I may tell all my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture. But be not thou far from me, O Lord, O my strength. Haste thee to help me. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling, from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns. I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the congregation will I praise thee. Those are some very, very strong words, and it really jumped out at me after I was anointed. This was the second time this year I was anointed. And this time around, I felt, like I said, He was weighing on me. And He told me, you have to focus on you. I have to focus on myself. Take more time for myself. Get myself back where I need to be. And do this from the gut of your soul. Because this is where I belong in this world, is to remind you that there is hope and there is comfort in this world for us all. You might not be Christian. You might be under a different belief system, different values, different morals. But one way or another, God is still in your life, and He's still trying. He's still working through your life no matter what. And He's working through my life. And I know this was always my God-given purpose, was to be there to be that hope and that comfort. And it comes across in my book series too. And I can't wait to share more from those books and see where the next chapter takes me, because I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take me, and I'm very blessed to be where I'm at. Very fortunate. And I will see you all again really soon. Only a couple more of these episodes left, and I just have a wonderful week, folks.